Well, hello there and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to make a clip about sweet peas. One of my club members suggested a clip of looking at how sweet peas to arrange them, how to look after them. So I thought I'd make a sweet pea clip. This one's for you, Fraser. These are very tame pigeons. Look at them. They're very relaxed, aren't they? And if you're new to the channel, you're very welcome. Please do subscribe, press the bell icon, and we'll tell you, well, the algorithm may tell you when we've got new clips coming out. And if any of the tips and tricks we give you along the way are useful, you can always join my club, which is where Fraser and all this other lovely, enormous community of people hang out. I'll put the link to club membership in the blurb to all my clips. And let's go and talk about sweet peas. And this is the last of 8 clips which have been sponsored by Soilsmith's Goop, which is a brilliant way to increase your soil health very quickly. As Daniel, who runs Soilsmith, says, nature gets there when it's ready, but if you want to speed things up a bit, this stuff will really help. I was going to make a clip about wildflowers, but it's wet and horrible. So sweet peas it is instead. Right, let's get some snips and some buckets. I will admit, I'm very grateful for the rain. This time last year, so this is the 6th of June, the anniversary of the D-Day landings. So perhaps I should dedicate this clip to my grandfathers, both of whom, my real grandfathers, were both killed in the Second World War. One went down fighting the rearguard action to protect everybody escaping from Dunkirk. And well, he was very badly wounded and later died of his wounds. And the other one went down with the Repulse at Singapore in 1941 when his ship was torpedoed by the Japanese. Anyway, D-Day landings aside, let's do some sweet peas. Yes, this time last year, 6th of June, we were 2 months in to a drought that lasted until the autumn. So which would you prefer? Boiling hot drought or damp rain? I have very strong Scottish heritage, and so give me dreek any day of the week, thanks. I love cool, damp weather in June. So I'm gonna cut all of them. It's Saturday afternoon and we've been cutting sweet peas all week, and if I give them a really good cut back, then they'll be able to flower again for next weekend's orders. Right, we're already ready to demonstrate my first idea, so let's take this back to the studio and have a play. So here's my first idea. It's really, really simple. All you need is a heavy bottomed slim vase, and you can put a long stem of sweet pea in it. And what I love, it's good against this door, so I probably there's a knob on the door, and the photograph's better portrait, but anyway, what you get with this long slim vase is an opportunity to show the sweet pea plant in all its almost graphic, as if it's been drawn with angles, beauty. So you get your flowers, perfect, lovely flowers. You get your buds next coming out. You get little tiny buds. You get the plant growing up. You get the curly tendrils. You get the beginning of a seed head. So you get the full story of the sweet pea in the vase. It needs to be a heavy bottomed vase because a stem like this is a bit heavy, and if I had it in a lighter vase or a shorter vase, it would pull the vase over. So something like this works really, really nicely. I found this there was an old lady in the village who very sadly died. Well, it wasn't that sad, she was 104. So she died and her family were clearing out the house, and she had a big vase cupboard, and they said, would you like to come and have a look in the vase cupboard and see if there's anything that would be of any use to you? And I came away with, amongst other things, a couple of these tall, heavy-bottomed vases. But you sometimes find them at second-hand shops or in antique shops, and they're really, really useful just for displaying a single stem like this. That's really very simple. One way to arrange a sweet pea. Hardly arranging, just pop it in a tall, heavy-bottomed vase and it'll look beautiful, especially if you've got a kind of, I call this housekeeper, 1920s housekeeper brown. Very, very good colour to photograph flowers against. This is a variety called King's High Scent. I'm not sure it is actually, but it should be King's High Scent. I don't think it's creamy enough. But equally, the conditions every year make things slightly different. So normally King's High Scent, I would say, would be more that colour and less white. But that's what it said on the on the tin. My favourite sweet pea this year is new to me. It's called America. It's this lovely red flake. Very pretty. Love it. I like an unusual, I love a flake. And also I like a colour that's kind of hard to use with other things, because then it can be the point of interest to bring you into a bouquet. Something unusual. But look at that. Isn't that stunning? I like this one. This one is, I got the seed from Green and Gorgeous, and it's just called White. White sweet pea. And I like that. That's just very relaxed, isn't it? It is a good white sweet pea. And I expect once upon a time it was called something else and the label got long lost. And Rachel has it coming again and again and again. It's a really good, reliable sweet pea. So she's quite sensibly just called it white sweet pea. And there we have it. A good white sweet pea from Green and Gorgeous. Next up, I'm very keen on just a great mush of sweet peas in a vase. So this is just it's an old vintage vase that I got from a friend of mine called Amanda Russell, who's a stylist and antiques dealer. And I've had this for years, and it's a very useful, because it's sort of a classic shape, and sweet peas are such a classic flower that they work very nicely together. Ooh, falling over. When I say a mush, I mean literally, I've cut them. I've not arranged them in any way. I've just cut them and put them together in this classic white vase against the door with a handle, but never mind. You get my drift. It's good to have the brown. The housekeeper's brown is a very good background for showing cut flowers against. And you don't need a fancy vase to have a mush of sweet peas. This is a jam jar. And there's a lovely mush together there. What I have done though is I've tied them loosely so that they don't fall outwards too much and be too gappy. I like that kind of cushion look. So there we are in a jar, just a little handful of sweet peas, very lightly tied together to keep them together, to keep them from falling out too much, so they don't get gappy. If you have just a handful of sweet peas and maybe a few different colours, then bud vases are really very attractive. You just have a couple of stems, 3 or 4 stems in each bud vase. And look how good America is. It's really stunning, isn't it? And this is, I think, Ballerina over here. And I'll have to look up the very dark one. I think the very dark one, almost black. So America, almost black, and Ballerina. And sometimes you can find these little fluted edged vases. I mean, look how small this is compared to my hand. And a little handful of sweet peas in a little fluted vase is very, very sweet. We like that. Very simple. Then, of course, you can go for something really, a little tiny bit of a mix. And this is the best scent combo in the world, I think. Obviously, some people, I know there are people who don't like the smell of sweet peas. I have a client who says, please no sweet peas. But for those of us who love the scent of sweet peas, if you're going to mix it with anything, I highly recommend mint and a rose. And so this is my rosy scented rose. It smells more rosy than any of my other roses. And it's Gertrude Jekyll. And the mint is pineapple mint. And it's very pretty variegated mint. Doesn't smell of pineapple. Smells minty. It's lovely. I think this is, if I were getting married, this is what I would carry, a handful. That's all. And then last but not least, I've made a big arrangement. So this is an old crystal trifle bowl, and I have put a frog in it to help everything stand up. And the secret to this, for the sweet peas, if you're you're displaying sweet peas, is to allow them some space. So while I've shown you the cushions that I really love, this is how I normally have sweet peas. This way, we've separated the sweet peas a little bit, and you can see how the frog means that they can stand on their own a little bit. But we don't want them to, we've seen arrangements that are all sweet peas. So I've mixed in, this is Woollerton Old Hall is the rose, and some bits of foliage and a little lovely buttery yellow geum up there, and a bit of grass over here. Goat's rue, Galliga officinalis. What's it called? Alchemilla mollis. Physocarpus darts gold. And this is about 30 stems. So if you fancied doing a 30 stem challenge this sunny June Sunday, go out into the garden and see what you can find. You don't have to use your grandmother's trifle bowl, but see if you can make something where you are allowing the stems to stand. This is quite an old-fashioned sort of arrangement. It's quite 1950s, really. A sort of thing my mother would have made at the that fancy hotel where she used to work, the Dorchester Hotel in London, where she worked before she was married. It's quite a sort of formal arrangement with everything separated. Anyway, have some fun and see what you can do. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the clip. I know someone's going to ask, which is my favourite? Is it this larger formal arrangement, or is it just the single stem of a lot of the plant, not the whole plant, but a big cutting hard into the sweet pea plant for this lovely structure? Well, what do you think? Have a lovely weekend, everybody. Good luck. Have some fun with your 30 stem challenges. There's one example. Or you just do a one stem challenge like this one. And maybe go and have a trawl through some brocante or antique shops or second-hand shops and see if you can find yourself a heavy-bottomed, tall, slim vase like this, or a lovely old trifle bowl for making arrangements with. Excuse to go on a hunt. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, everyone. I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.